SAFE, which I promised in the previous class, Scaled Agile Framework, as well as the answer any questions in terms of Jira, because we covered quickly, but we did a really great job in terms of previous class to go over the Jira overall. I heard from one of the students that she wanted to practice in my Jira project, and I allowed freehand to everyone, not only you or a specific student. All of you are welcome to play with this. This is kind of, take it as a sandbox. Play with this. Create more projects as long as the file version is there for 2 weeks, right? I believe it's already 1 week gone. So just take advantage of this time. And if this one expires, then register with your other email or set it up instance for with your other email. That will keep you the ball rolling. So with that, let me ask you guys question. Does anyone have any questions in terms of with respect to the previous class? I know there are some pending questions on the idea boards, but those are not related to Jira. But I just want to make sure you guys are all set from Jira standpoint.
Sir, I have tried to make a project and I just want you to review that. Uh, that's it.
Okay. So I did not see any extra project. Uh, the one that is already out there that I have created. So did you create and click on over here, create a project?
Yeah, I did it there.
Okay. All right. Then I will reach out to you offline to see
Okay.
what's the reason, or maybe let me click on this. Oh yeah, you already have it. Perfect. Great job. Let me bookmark so it will keep going up in the next time. So yeah, thank you.
Because I
Great
have
job.
some confusion between the epic and the task. So that's why I was a little confused. So that's why I want you to review that.
Okay. All right. So don't worry. As I mentioned, no, you're not the only one. There are a couple of other students as well that have to spend some time with them in terms of one-on-one or looking at their resume or something. So, but great job. At least it shows your like interest and you spend you create actually one stories out there. So yeah, I will reach out to you offline for the sake of the others' time. Let's take it. Let's put it on a parking lot. Okay.
Okay, please share your screen also, sir.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Oh boy. Okay, dokie. And let me turn on the volume as well. There you go. Yeah. Thank you so much for bringing it up. So yeah, here's the project that you created already, warehouse construction, right? So if you click on this project, I'm in this project. If I create, and I assume that I am on my other project, which is kind of really, remember, I show you guys keep an eye to select the proper accurate like project to make sure you pick up the correct one, not something that you just blindly click on create. And remember I mentioned you guys that the previously whichever project that you worked on, it will drop down, the drop down will show you the latest one. And this is actually in reality showing you over here that like this is warehouse construction, because remember I clicked on that project. So by default, it's showing. If I assume that, oh, I will be creating in IWC, which is IC winter class, no, because I recently visited this project, so I have to go ahead and manually change it if I'm going to create any epic or story or a task in this project. Okay. So make sure, remember I mentioned that a couple of times my team members or even BAs, business, they reached out to me that, oh, we are unable to find our issues in that particular project. I said, okay, which project you guys created under? As they said, well, I don't know, we didn't pay attention. Then I went ahead and when they demoed me, when I went to help them, and I was routing them, look over here, and look, you created the project under the wrong project, like created an issue under the wrong project. Like you created the story under a different project. That's why it's not showing under your project. So, and although there is a way to move from one project to the other one, but again, it causes so much ambiguity and confusion, right? Because you are unable to find out your stuff that you created. So that is one of the examples that you have to like make sure pay attention on this one, as well as what kind of issue type that you're going to create. For example, they say, oh, I created a bug under this project, but this isn't showing as a story. I said, okay, are you sure it's a bug? It's not a story. And then and when they gave me the number, for example, IWC 123, right? When I opened it up, and it was showing like as a story issue type, not the bug itself. So you have to keep an eye and make sure it's in the proper status, as well as a proper issue type and under correct project. But great, good job, Sana, Sister Sana, for practicing and taking it very seriously. That's great. Any other question from anyone? All right, let's move on. As you guys know that this class we are trying to wrap it up. We have so much context to cover. One of the my objective was to give you full package, right? We covered Scrum project management, which with three roles like product owner, Scrum, and the team, right? Based on the Scrum guide. But at the same time, if you take a look over here, like there's another buzzword, which is kind of safe. And how safe got into this picture? Uh, when remember the history of safe could be, or like why they scaled it. What was the reason? The bigger reason, the major reason behind this evolution of safe is when the companies, organizations adapted this Scrum and Agile, um, everything was fine and perfect and with the quality, with broader customer satisfaction. But when they worked on, remember, all each organization or companies, they have small projects and they have large or complex projects as well, right? For example, they're working on a home screen, or any simple 3 pages website is different than website with the like so many variations and like 10 modules, or like bigger different products itself listed in that, right? So just like comparing small animal with the larger, just like I gave you example as well, story point standpoint as well. Same here. Over here, they also size different projects as well. So which project is what size is like it fits. It's really silly or stupid to say that all projects are the same size. It can't happen. Like you cannot budget everything like $10 million to each project. It's really crazy, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense. No one will agree with you. So up to some extent, you have to draw the baseline and the fine line between small projects, medium, and large projects, right? So when the companies adopted the Scrum and Agile, it was perfectly working for the small or up to maybe medium based project as well, like a 3 months initiative, or 6 months, or 1 year the most. But when it comes to multi-year initiatives, right? For example, when the companies made their 5 years planning, they've looked at it that okay, oh, this project cannot fit into 1 year bucket. It's a multi-year initiative, and this is where like when they do their planning, 2021 we will achieve up to this point, right? Like maybe 2 website, 2 pages and 3 models or something like that, and then we will keep going. 2022 we will achieve up to this point, and then we will deliver full-fledged project end-to-end standpoint in 2023. Okay, so when they look at and they adapted and they kept it with only Scrum, not Safe itself. That's where they saw a poor quality a little bit, things getting lagged or behind because lots of ambiguity, uncertainty, and also heavily depending on like teams that were working in silos. Scrum teams, okay, one, Scrum team two, Scrum team three. That's how they they divided, and they were not communicating or collaborating between themselves. For there were a lot of uncertainty that how they can structure and combine all the teams to form to deliver which is a common objective or common initiative. For example, Scrum Team 1 was only focusing on their own initiative, part of that initiative, right? And not syncing up with other Scrum team because they were dependent on that particular team, but they were not syncing up. They were not collaborating with them that in order to resolve any dependencies or risks. So that's where SAFe came into picture. In simple, short version, you can say scaled agile framework, which is SAFe, is ideal for large and complex projects. Simple. You don't have to, say get to the deeper level, unless if you are asked for examples. Let me elaborate quickly so we can move on to our next topic as well. Over here, as you guys can see, or Scrum Master and Team Coach. This is team level agility, teams and technical agility. That's how they have divided those actually brackets in terms of which is called business agility. They divided into team agility, agile product delivery, lean portfolio management, and organizational agility. They're all tied together to deliver business agility. I have a cool video to show you guys first, and then we will move on. But before that, I really want to set the stage for that particular video. That will make you more your concepts more clear because that is more theoretical standpoint, that video. But over here, in simple words, I will really want to explain you and clear your concepts in a simple words. Over here, take a look. Remember, this is the basic, pure, bottom approach, which is team level only Scrum. When you activate a Scrum team, right? You have Scrum Master, right? Product owner and delivery team, development team. This is, and then when you scale it, when you pick up a big project, like a larger project, then over here, look at this. You move on to Agile product delivery level, which is called RTE, Release Train Engineer. Instead of Scrum Master, you have the role over here as a RTE. It's called Release Train Engineer. It could be a senior Scrum Master or lead Scrum Master or program manager because this is at program level. I mean, there are different titles of that RTE. Some organizations they don't have official title of RTE, release train engineer, but they promote one of the senior Scrum Master or lead Scrum Master to that level to handle that title for interim basis until they get official approval for RTE role. Or also they can also bring up program level. Remember I mentioned Scrum Master is PR of what? Project manager, right? So next level of project is what? Project manager. On the next level is program manager. So that's why they give this role RT to the program manager, whoever was in waterfall or earlier official HR title program manager. They train them. They bring them as an RTE. Right here, as you can see, oh, there's a lot of echo. Can someone go on mute? Okay. All right. Product management. Over here, as you can see, the product owner was there, right? Now over here, it's moved on to the next level, which is called product manager. And then over here, you can see the system architect. As you can see, the business owner is overall the teams they are farming. Why? Because they're at the agile product delivery level. They don't have a particular one team working for them. They have teams of teams. It's called teams of teams where they manage this, and that's where this whole scaled concept comes up. They scale this Scrum and transformed it into a scaled agile. Scaled agile means I'm sure everyone knows, right? You want to scale your career, you want to grow your career. Scale means growing up to the next level, right? Not specific sticking with only one side. Or why there is no particular team over here? Why? Because there's concept of it's called team of team, which is multiple like scrum of scrum is called once there are multiple scrum teams forms the agile release train. It's called ART, agile release train right here. I'm sure you guys know the concept of train, right? What train does? It stops on multiple stops and drops and then MVP or something like that. For example, there could be a one stop, it's called program increment, actually, PI, program increment, which is called quarterly planning as well. In simple words, you can assume. Why it's called? Because what they do is over here, what do? We do sprint planning, right? What do we do over here? Activities as part of we do PI planning. PI planning is the next level over here, as you can see. It's a quarterly planning, not only 2 weeks. It's a 4 to 6 sprints planning all together. That's where it's growing now, right? Because the project is large, complex, right? So you should also have broader spectrum scope as well, right? So and how they accomplish it over here we have team backlog, right, at Scrum level, team level. But over at the program level or like release train level, they have art backlog. Art backlog is comprised of team one backlog is a combination of the multiple teams backlog. Okay, and this is called over here design thinking. That's the whole concept is called. And if you click, I will share. Let me share this link in the chat so you can open at your end as well. And this will you can go from with more details and like click on each hyperlink actually to get to the more bottom of it and more detail. For example, if you take a look and click on this, let's say like a team backlog, right? And it will route you to the whole article that was drawn details about like what is team backlog is about, details examples things like that. Okay, and same here over here as this actually art backlog. If you click over here, as I was saying, it's a multiple teams backlog will transform the art backlog because now you are scaled and you are managing multiple teams, not only one. And who is managing? Release train engineer. Okay, or here as you can see right here, see this one, non-functional requirements, those are also like very detailed level. It's a whole training actually itself, but I'm trying to give you kind of a overall full-fledged package that you guys can clear your concepts in terms of like answering any questions, or even in the job descriptions they said safe must be required, or safe is nice to have safe knowledge as well. So recently, even last actually this week, like today is 21, right? uh, this week they released Scale Agile. They released sixth version. That's why it's saying right here the titles Safe 6.0. It was 5.0 earlier. About it lasted like about 2 years. Now they have enhanced it. They keep growing as well. They keep modifying based on the feedback of the customers as well. But coming to your point, like simply to keep the thing simple, over here we have Scrum teams that deliver only MVP, right? But in SAFE, we have PI planning. We do PI planning, and in each team delivers a part of like MVP, which is also combined, clubbed into the overall MVP of the art. I wish this one, there was another one, cool example that actually a picture that was trying to find out for you guys. It's a solution level as well, right here. No, what we deliver, like we deliver MVP at the end of each sprint, right? But over here, we deliver MVP one, MVP two at each stops, like train stops, multiple stops, right? For example, how many quarters do we have in a year? 4 quarters, right? So you can break down each quarter as a PI, PI1, PI2, PI3, PI4, right? Because each PI normally recommendation is think about as a quarterly planning. So rather than doing all multi-year planning all together in waterfall, right? They broke it down up to the quarter level, not to the sprint. 2 weeks, 2 weeks is too little for that particular large complex project, right? So what they did is they divided into they enhanced it, and from 2 weeks they enhanced planning to the quarter to deal with large and complex projects. So that's the whole philosophy and concept behind safe itself, like safe framework. So each release train engineer, why do we call it release agile release train engineer? Because they really want to make it more like collaborative or fun way. It's not something they're doing program level, because those are then again the concepts are same at old waterfall old school concepts like program manager. project managers or things like that, right? So over here, what they did is they adapted the concept of trains, where the train stops at multiple stops and deliver the passengers, right? Passengers drops, and then the new passengers, on the board, gets on the board. Same concept over here. So what is called, over here is the philosophy is behind this is continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous exploration. Those are all you see. All these three continuous is part of that release train, because they do retro as well at the PA quarterly level. I know I'm saying the words carefully, quarterly, but actually in reality it's called program increment. Increment. See, like the word is like keyword is increment. You have to make sure you consume like the whole contents of overall like adaptation. Let's see this one, planning interval, and it's overall like release on demand. Or your next question could be when we release. So release and demand. Whenever we see that okay, we are in the for like in a good position, we're in good shape to release. Go ahead, release it in production. That's why it's called release on demand. If you click, you'll get to the details over here. Every single keyword have the hyperlink associated with that, and that's where you can get your answers more in detail, more clarity. Okay, I'm gonna stop you guys over here at the art level because I'm not gonna go far to the lean portfolio management and organizational agility, which are really way more large and complex. Because over here, when value stream management comes up in the picture, which is kind of another cool topic, or but I shared already with this you guys this link, and every single definition has associated the whole article behind that. And you click on it, it will route you to the details of each like keyword. And if you guys have a question, feel free to schedule some time with me, and I will be happy to assist you guys. But again, I would highly recommend to keep it up to the program level, which is kind of art flow or art level, team level agility, and then product level, product delivery, agile product delivery right here. Again, it's not something that you guys cannot consume, but I already tried my best to give you guys kind of basic concept of safe, right? Not something like making it more complex for you guys, or not making it up to the lean portfolio management, which is way more. Over here, then you have to find epic owners and enterprise level agility, strategic teams, just like where your CEO present in the town hall, right? They present you that here is our vision, multi-year. Here are our initiatives this year, and our organization strategically planning to deliver this. For example, Tesla, right? Um, what they were, this was in the form is already Elon Musk's have had an idea. It was not reality. How did he transform that idea into reality? This is whole by adapting this whole pattern from organizational agility to lean portfolio management to agile product delivery to teams and technical agility. First of all, he shared his idea with the board of governors, whatever his fellows, enterprise and government. They are two different entities then, because it was private, right? Enterprise level to his board of governors or whatever was the leaders, C level folks. He shared his initiative is that and that's where they broke it down to strategic teams. Okay, we are going to have what you call Tesla Model One or Model Two. Different names of. I'm not a big fan of Tesla because I'm not owning it yet. But I'm just giving an example, right? Because they have enhanced it, enhanced the battery, enhanced more multiple features. How they did it right here by adapting this approach, strategic teams, and then they transformed into the portfolio vision. What are our breaking down again? The idea is from idea to like inception to the reality. This is how you achieve it. Okay. I know there you guys might have lots of questions in your mind, but I tried my best to give you kind of basic concepts of SAFe, how it distinguishes from regular Scrum to SAFe, and how it delivers value with respect to large scale projects or complex projects. And you guys might have question in your mind, how do you define that this project is a large or complex or multi-year, or what are the criteria, right? Um, Answer to this question is, it's up to the leadership, senior leadership, that they define some criteria, some checklist, where they define that, okay, this project is small, this project is large, this is less complex, this is more complex. There are so many attributes that build up a project, or they call a project as a large project or a small project. One of the example is budgeting. When I was working with Blue Cross Blue Shield, they were fairly new. They were working as only in Scrum, and they wanted to take it to the next level, and they were adapting SAFe. This is what they're defined, that okay, the project with $10 million or above, they're gonna work or deliver as a SAFe, with SAFe framework, using SAFe framework, Scrum, multiple teams, right? They brought the RTs, they trained them, and then they started delivering, working on it. The projects under $10 million, they call it as small projects. They did not have definition of medium, because medium, small, there's fine line between those differences, and they can deal with both. They say medium or small, no matter what project is medium or small, they will deliver as a regular Scrum fashion. So I hope I gave you another live example of criteria, and this was one of the criteria. Not only, there could be more. It could be value as well, right? How quickly the management is looking for. For example, they want to survive in the market, right? So based on the market trends, they want to deliver within a month, or within few 6 months or something. Then there could be some negotiation that, okay, is it a large project that they have to deliver in 6 months? Then if that's the case, then they form safe quickly, and they build the pods. They also called pods as a POD, or operational delivery, or Scrum teams. So what whichever are activated already, Scrum teams, they take those current projects them off and give it to the new ones, or on. It's all about give and take, right? Priorities. So I'm giving you example of variations. How, what is how important is it? How urgent is needed? Time factor, budgeting factor, or also impact standpoint as well. For example, it could be impacting multiple business unit, or groups or departments of the organization, right? So again, budget is one of the factors to contribute, or to call it out to as a project is a large project, complex, or is a small base. Okay. Any questions on this safe so far? You guys are up to take a look on the video that I pulled up. Again, I pulled it up from Scaled Agile Inc. Again, this is official organization that transformed. Let's take a look. It's only 5 minutes. They want to cover. Maybe not be even 5 minutes. How about 5 minutes, 28 seconds? They also was trying to play with that.
SAFe provides the operating system for organizations to achieve business agility through the 7 core competencies of the lean enterprise: team and technical agility, agile product delivery, enterprise solution delivery, lean portfolio management, organizational agility, continuous learning culture, and lean agile leadership. It all starts with team and technical agility, and specifically with the Agile team. An Agile team is a group of 5 to 11 members which can define, build, test, and where applicable, deploy value in short time boxes called iterations. The team uses Agile methods like Scrum or Kanban, or a combination thereof. The team starts each iteration by planning what they can deliver in an iteration planning event. The product owner provides guidance on what needs to be built by representing the customer on the team. Every day, the team meets to discuss how they're progressing toward their iteration goals in a daily stand-up. At the end of each iteration, the team demonstrates the work they've completed in an iteration review. Before the next iteration, the team reflects on what to improve for the next iteration in an iteration retrospective. The Scrum Master is the coach of the team, helping it improve and facilitating the various events. In an enterprise, multiple teams need to work together as a team of agile teams
There you go. That's where Scale Agile is starting. Multiple teams.
to deliver value. In SAFe, these teams of agile teams are called an Agile Release Train, or ART, and include 50 to 125 people. ARTs are cross-functional, including all the people needed to explore customer needs and then build and deliver solutions to customers. The ART uses agile product delivery practices to deliver the right value at the right time. The ART works within a time box called a program increment,
Programming.
or PI, which is typically 5 iterations long. The ART follows similar events to teams. At the beginning of the PI, all teams come together to plan their work for the PI in a PI planning event. PI planning is facilitated by the release train engineer, who serves as the coach for the ART. Product management provides the vision and backlog. The system architect provides architectural guidance. The teams then plan the work for the PI, identifying what can be delivered. A program board is used to visualize the dependencies
Yep.
between the teams. Every iteration, the ART demos the integrated solution across all teams in a system demo. And at the end of the PI, all teams meet to retrospect on how to improve in an inspect and adapt event. Product managers use customer centricity and design thinking to understand customer problems and discover solutions that are desirable, viable, feasible, and sustainable. The ART builds a continuous delivery pipeline and uses DevOps practices to release on demand, delivering value when it is needed. Sometimes a single agile release train is not enough to deliver a solution, and the enterprise solution delivery competency is needed. A solution train is used to coordinate.
So it's going to the next level now. Solution. Remember, I mentioned you. I was trying to not encourage you because keep it up to the safe level. Now it's going to the solution level where we have solution train engineers. So, but I will keep going because only 1 more minute or have left, right, from this video.
Coordinate multiple arts and suppliers to deliver large, complex solutions. Solution management has content authority on what gets built. The solution architect oversees the architecture across arts, and a solution train engineer coaches and facilitates solution train events. In order to align strategy and execution, Lean Portfolio Management provides a way to create strategic themes and a portfolio vision to align solution development with enterprise strategy. Lean Portfolio Management helps enterprises organize around the delivery of value in value streams, as well as fund these value streams to avoid the problems that are typically associated with project cost accounting. Having strategy, however, is not enough. Organizational agility provides the tools that help portfolios achieve strategy agility and change direction quickly when needed, organizing and reorganizing around value. It builds the environment for flow of value across the entire enterprise and beyond solution development and helps grow lean thinking people and agile teams. Continuous learning culture drives a culture of innovation and relentless improvement to help enterprises become learning organizations. Finally, a lean enterprise is built on lean agile leadership. To achieve and sustain business agility, leaders must embody, teach, and exhibit the mindsets, values, and principles that are the basis of lean and agile. Lead by example and guide everyone toward this new way of working using the implementation roadmap as a guide. Together, these 7 competencies build the lean enterprise and make true business agility possible.
All right. So how you guys find this video? Based on my elaboration earlier when I paved the foundation for the safe, right? And now you saw the video. So remember they started with the team and then they took it to the program level and then solution level where lean portfolio management comes up concepts comes up, and then at on an organizational level. So this is what hierarchy, and that's how it works. And every hyperlink and each definition keyword has all the articles associated with that. They have built a whole body of knowledge out there for you guys. Any questions based on that video? All right, wonderful. We are moving great. We are doing great progress. So now the fun part. Remember, as I promised you guys, to answer any questions and as well as share my live examples and interview tips, working on resumes, our Scrum Master career path, which way is shorter or easier to get yourself certification, right? And which way is a little bit challenging, but it works. So right here, let's take a look on the example, but I really want to give a credit to the individual who came up with the question. Uh, isn't the sheet that you showed for capacity planning completely opposite to what Agile teaches, like estimating each team member's daily hours while versus the story points standpoint, right? Um, and first of all, I would like to know who came up with this question, or maybe that particular student is missing. That's a very good question. Actually, I really wanted this question to be asked when we were talking about the capacity. Because remember when we did, I pulled up actually the slide for you guys to show you what where this concept is coming from you. Remember, I gave you example of this capacity spreadsheet when like as a template to that you guys can use, correct? Over here, you are you are calculating capacity in hours, correct? While we do the capacity, while we do the delivery in story points, that okay, how many story points we can commit. So is it not conflicting or contradicting? Two different topics, two different concepts, correct? So that's why I said I gave I tried I was just trying to give you guys kudo whoever came up with this question. Of course, it is conflicting. I agree, apparently, but there is a way to handle it. How you guys can, how teams can learn that they are overcommitting or they're in good shape of like committing and starting the sprint over here. As you guys can see, after minusing or subtracting every single thing like holidays, planned time off, right, or meetings, like non-productive time, like scrum events, we came up with from 80, we ended up to, for some folks that are available 100%, 48 hours or 56 hours, or the one that had some points like time off, 26 hours, right? With 2 weeks, kind of 80 hours, 10 business days, which had 1 day holiday, which is kind of 9 business days, in other words, I would say, correct? Day 4 is a holiday. Remember in our scenario that we picked up. So what you can see, I mean, look at this diagram again as I'm showing right here to reflect. So over here, that's where as a Scrum Master, you reach out to your Agile coach for the direction. You don't just blindly keep the team confusing or giving them different answer every time they come back to you, right? So the Agile coaches or industry leaders recommendation is there this big debate. In the beginning, remember, this is your first sprint or maybe sprint zero, or you just beginning your journey of Agile. In the beginning, everyone is understandable. They're trying, even the leadership, they're trying to understand as well that, okay, this is our first experiment or transformation, right? So try to, they recommend that if you are uncertain or the story points, you want to size the story points, they say that try to go higher story points. For example, one of those team member came up with 5. The other one came up with 8, right? Another one, someone else came up with 3. Since it's our first sprint, so hear from both, all 3. Okay, why is it 8? Why is it 3? Okay, let's hear from 5, which is in the middle, right? But at the same time, when you come to coaching the team, tell them that, okay, since it's our first sprint, we just recently started our journey, I would recommend to go higher. And so we can, later on, we can compare with different similar flavor of stories. That okay, in the sprint one, same type of story we worked on it. We size it at 8 story points. But now, since we have evolved at sprint 6 or 7, I think with similar type of story, I think we should say, I mean, the team members will start thinking that, oh, it was not reality. In reality, it was only 5 story points, not 8. This is unfair to give more higher, like 3 points more. So they will learn gradually and reduce it or learn it, or maybe it's vice versa. Okay, so but the recommendation is to go higher. So that's why they say that each story point could be 6 to 8 hours, like one day around. Okay, uh, roughly 6 to 8 hours means like no 8 hours. They don't focus on 8 hours solely, right? Every day companies have some bandwidth to the folks, right? You go for bio breaks, restroom breaks, or lunch break, or anyone could be on your desk and they go and keep standing, or if you are working in person, right? Or or the other way it could be like if you are caught up into some ad hoc meetings, right? Which went longer. So in reality, the actual working our hands down on the keyboard is 5 to 6 hours. So that's where they say that, okay, let's say 6 to 8 hours, one story point. Let's start with that higher. And then you can bring lower at like 4 to 6 hours later, when gradually by learning it. But it's not something that you just put them lower numbers ahead. Okay, I would say 4 to 6 hours, like, one story point. That's where it will give you baseline. When I say baseline means like foundation, you're setting up the like foundation that for your journey. That okay, from sprint 1 2 we did started doing this, but we ended up now we are learning. This is these kind of the discussions are part of your should be part of your sprint retrospectives. Remember, reflect and inspect and adapt. Reflect your work. What could be improved? Retrospective is always area or event to improve. How we can improve as a team, right? So, coming to answering to you the question that was put on the idea boards, that's why I mentioned that okay, we will cover into the next class because it's hard to address, and that's why I'm not a big fan of answering everything in the stickies over here. And I said we will cover in the next class, inshallah. The reason is now you can get the idea that okay, you remember where I was coming from. Now, if we have, for example, let's say pick up example of 48 hours, right, for this individual. So how many story points would be easy, like in a good shape, or he could be comfortable, he or she, if we adapt story points, the 8 hours for one story points. So divided by 8, right? So maybe like six story points would be good for him, right? For her in this for the picking out that one, which is Asha over here in our example, right? So divide them, set the stage, and then learn it gradually. Maybe it's 8 hours less or more, or how we're doing. Those are our discussions for our retrospective. That's where we talk as a group, as a team. Same thing over here, 56. So if it's 8 hours, so it could be 7 story points or something, right? Around that. So give them benefit, like it could be combination of a 2 point story, 3 point story, five, and then pick another 2 point story, something like that. Then ask them, are you comfortable, or you want to take 1 point more, and then you'll see how you can deliver it or not. Or maybe have him or her with 656 points, pick up 6 points and then bring another story in the beginning, in the middle of the sprint. If he's done, if he or she is done with their current story points. So that's how it works. You always go with this baseline. Baseline means you're starting. You somehow you have to start your journey, right? And that's where you set up stage, or like 6 to 8 hours per story point, or 4 to 6 hours per story points. Okay. Any questions on this analogy and elaboration? And let's take a look on this. Was very important question. I really wanted to cover it because this is not something that I leave you guys confused. So can I mark it as complete? No one is talking today.
Yes, please.
Okay. So next question, will this course will be enough to appear for certification? Of course. I think I addressed this question a couple of times, but I kept it hanging for this last. Remember, we reserved this last class to answer those questions, and then I'll jump on to my live examples, our interview tips and resume and all those things. But let's take a look over here. There are two paths, two official accredited organizations that they issue Scrum certifications. One is called Scrum Alliance. The other one is called Scrum.org. Now, third is SAFE is also issuing, but SAFE is also, again, it's not basic level. They SAFE sticks with their SAFE principles, scaled agile. So they have SASM, scaled agile Scrum Master. So, but it's up to you how you want to, go, which route you want to go. But in reality, the basic CSM or Scrum Master certifications, two in organizations issue. One is called Scrum.org. Scrum.org issues PSM. Their certification title is Professional Scrum Master, and then they have levels PSM1, PSM2, and I think they have also PSM3 as well. So depending on how hard, how tough, or how challenging you want to take that exam, right? But PSM is they're equivalent to CSM. Like PSM1 is the basic one that they offer. You cannot go beyond PSM minus one, PSM zero. Just kidding. So, but how you guys can qualify yourself, right, for those certification, or which way is easier? Which one is a little bit challenging? Remember, I gave you a hint in the beginning of the class. I would say let's talk about the easier one. Easier path is through Scrum Alliance. Why? Because I already did it actually when I was assessing this, switching my career to to Scrum Master World, and that's how I started my journey actually. And I also took the exam of PSM1 as well. That's why I can say even you can Google it even. Uh, but the easiest one is through Scrum Alliance, but a little bit expensive from cost standpoint as compared to PSM1 if you want. Why? Because Scrum Alliance requires you to attend 2 days of training. Normally it's official 2 days. I think it's still 2 days. They have not reduced the, the number of days. 2 days training, just like same thing, just like I'm teaching you guys this class. Same thing happens. An agile coach or their certified trainers always look for their reviews and feedback as well. In fact, actually, let me pull up actually Scrum Alliance. Bear with me. Here we go, Scrum Alliance, yes. Uh, Here we go. So Scrum Alliance issues CSM. It's called Certified Scrum Master. And that's what it's called, certification right here. You guys can click right here. And from here, you can pick up your which certification you want to. The basic one, remember, Certified Scrum Master. Find a course because they offer some in-person training as well as after pandemic. Actually, most of the vendors, most of the trainings are happening remotely, and it benefits you actually a lot in terms of cost. Their certification training, 2 days training used to be like $1,100, $1,200 in person 2 days training. But now things are different. It's around 450, 400. The least one I see 395. See this live online. live online. I mean, most of the certifications are being executed as remote, like on live online. And then you have to see, like, for example, sometime even you can look which, area that you're looking for, like Illinois, and in Illinois, which cities are you preferring, like Chicago or Naperville or Live or something like that. If you pick up Chicago, their cost will be much different than the other ones. But over here, it's not, still showing even even I picked up the Chicago, but it's showing like live instructors, right? But I mean, I was just giving an example, and you guys can go and look for more details. Look over here. It was showing the course details, and that's where it's showing talking about the instructors. He's he's from Feedback Scrum Consulting. What Scrum Alliance did is they affiliated with different vendors. Different vendors mean Knowledge Hut is one of the big. C Prime is one of the biggest one, and also like Infosys or Cognizant or other consulting companies that privately open up. Like this individual, he transformed his own company, right? It's called 3PEX Scrum Consulting and Training. You will see most of them privately. They're affiliated with Scrum Alliance. They don't execute training or issue certificate on their own. But over here, it will give you kind of overview of about the course and the cost associated, how much it it cost right here. Look at this one, $350 before 330. Oh my goodness, this is very cheaper. But after that, after April, 4 to 5, so the cost will be 780. It's early bird. This one is early bird price, $350. Very cheap as compared to $1,200, right? That I paid for my training back in 2015. But again, at that time, things were different. Pandemic was not there. Now everything is changed, especially this remote thing. They don't have to sponsor air tickets for their instructor, right? Or hotel arrangements. All those things are not happening. It's remote. He can execute this training from his own home. But again, the contents are much it's the same. Always look for their review and all those so many things. What are their certifications and ratings and all those things. But pretty much they are actually expert in the industry about their what they have achieved. This is one. After the 2 days of training, I believe it's 2 days. Right here, if you take a look right here in 2 days, they said 2 days, right? Somewhere our agenda right here. So, oh, okay. I believe it's not 2 days. Oh yeah, here we go, 2 days. So I was right. So after the 2 days, what happens? Uh, he will generate a link for your exam to take that exam within 30 days. Okay. But it's not something that you have to take it tomorrow, next day after the class is over, right? It's up to you. If you feel comfortable, do it. Go for it. But it's recommended to do at least some prep, right? To do some research, to go over some mock exams or tests. There are some. I'll share you an email with everyone where you can see some sample questions or answers, something. And in fact, actually, I have pulled one of the Scrum Master interview question, which is kind of 93 pages long. It has question and answers to prep you for the interview. I mean, for the exam or interview, whatever. But the pure, actually, what is the baseline of those questions? What is the basic criteria is Scrum Guide. If you have a good grip on the Scrum Guide and the contents of this training, the one that I executed, all the ceremonies, all the artifacts, all the scenarios, and even in fact, some of the examples that I'm going to share with you, each ceremonies or story points, sizing, estimation, correct? Anyone definition of done, actually, we did not cover that one, but this is already out there in the Scrum Guide, right? So prep yourself and then go for exam. That link will not expire. It will expire in 30 days, but you have time after the training, right? And their exam is very easy, super duper easy. Okay, coming on to the next one. Any question on Scrum Alliance, this route? I believe I covered everyone. Duration, cost, recommendation, whatever, right? The other one is the could be challenging is through scrum.org, correct? Scrum.org issues PSM, but there is a catch as well. Um, what they do is Scrum.org, they issue PSM, Professional Scrum Master certifications, PSM1, PSM2, PSM3. But the beauty, or what you call, their exam is a little bit tough as compared to CSM, like Scrum Alliance. But the thing is, they don't require you for 2 days training. They don't require. You can even buy and pay, make a payment and take exam. Like for example, PSM1, you pick up the cost or you make a payment, and I believe they have also 30 days as well to take the exam. But you don't have to pay $350 for the training and then 2 days training with instructors or remote, right? And then take the exam. You cannot go direct CSM exam directly without training. Over here, you can. So applying Scrum Professor Scrum Master, there are some like prerequisites question or something. But again, I had a student in my previous training that was ended like last year that I executed in back in October, I believe. Before it was like before Muharram actually last year, not in October in summer. She took after my training this training, the contents that I covered, even if the contents was less than this training. She prepared herself, non-technical, non-IT background. She cleared PSM1 within 2 weeks after my training, including Ashura and Muharram days. Now you can understand how passionate she was. So over here, see this per attempt, $150 you paid, and then you can take the exam. And passing mark score is 85%. All these details are listed over here. They don't require you to take the training. Okay. This is through scrum.org. Another one route is through SAFE, but I'm not gonna cover SAFE because SAFE is they have advanced level training because SASM SAFE like Scaled Agile Scrum Master certification. But I'm not gonna go to that route. But this is really a much enhanced version. Any questions on certifications?
So
Does
the
this answer your
PS1,
question? Sorry,
so
yeah, go ahead.
PSM one also need to be reviewed every 2 years, like Scrum Master.
No, their certification don't expire. Yes,
Oh,
good question. Yes, that PSM ones or whichever Scrum.org issues, that doesn't have any expiration date on the certifications. But yes, CSM have it. You have to renew it. Yes, just only make a payment and then it gets renewed. They don't require you any any extra training.
right.
Okay, does it answer question? Anyone else? Yeah, but that was a great question. Actually, sorry about I forgot it. Actually, I should have covered it. All right, I'm marking it as done as well. The next one, what are the suggested certifications? I think we already covered this one, right? I don't want to spend much time on the certification thing. Certification is a piece of paper that qualifies you that you came up with proper knowledge. The goal is to consume the contents, the principles, the process that it advise you guidelines and then implement it. Okay. So don't take certification. Most of the people are confused. Oh, which certification is best? Or which certification I should take? I said, come on, let your journey start. Okay, like go for with whichever makes sense to you, CSM or PSM. But at least let your journey begin, right? If you don't start your journey, or like how can you uh, move on? Correct. For example, my first certification was CSM. Now I have a handful of certifications. Why? But because I kept it growing. I did every like scale Agilist and ICP ACC, which is kind of certified coach as well, and RTE and SASM as well, scale advanced level. So, but I don't call them all the certification in my signature part and just influencing people that I have so many certifications. No, start your journey and move on. Don't care about which certification is best or not, or don't compare the certification actually. It all depends on your needs and your goals. Set up your goals first. The best other recommendation I just gave it to a fresh graduate is take one certification, either CSM or PSM. Actually, if he did actually CSM, he passed it, and then get a job and let your company reimburse all the other costs of other certifications. So that's the other way of saving some money, not getting coming anything out of your pocket. Because the on the if you get a job, I'm sure you guys are aware of it, most of you, that the companies, the organization, they reimburse, they invest in your employees, in their employees to grow their knowledge and skills and apply them within their roles. So get a one certification and then can get others like free as I did. Okay. All right. The next one is how to get Scrum Master job without any previous experience. Okay, I'm gonna come back in a minute. I was not able to find class. Oh, find class slides for session two. Is it the case with everyone, or is it was there only one specific question? But I answered it like the recordings also already have those slides as well. But I will be happy to share class two slides. Okay. Can we take some quick break before we get to this topic, like getting on the Scrum Master without job experience? Because we are about one more than an hour long. Let's take a quick 10 minutes break and then we'll come back.
Yeah, sure.
All right, sounds good. See you guys in 7:17. Okay. I'm also putting into chat as well. Ali? All right, we are back. Are you guys there?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Let me share my screen. We'll try to wrap it up. There we go. So the question was how to get Scrum Master job without any prior experience. There are some different variations to answer this question. It's not doable. It's not impossible. Nothing is impossible, in fact. But you have to work smart in terms of to transition your career uh, and deviate it from your current role to the Scrum Master role. First of all, I would like to know, do you guys have, if anyone have any IT experience first, or working, I mean, they're working in different, currently working in the IT corporate world, right? As a DBA, as a developer, or as a business analyst, or something like that. Then answer is different versus the one that is fairly like putting their foots into the market after like with no IT background at all and without any IT prior knowledge, right? So I will answer both ways. First of all, if you have a working knowledge of IT, no matter like either domain, like it could be business analyst role or uh, like architect or developer or whatever. Because I heard there's one DB actually, in fact, he just recently got PSM certification because he was sick of his schedule. The DBS, they have to work offline like like so many hours extra. Um, like after hours, right? To support the deployments, like 1 o'clock call, midnight, 12 o'clock, blah blah blah. So many. So he was done with this kind of work-life balance. Is what it was really disturbing our work-life balance and family commitments. So he said, I really want to switch to Scrum Master role. He was working as a developer and as a DBA in Oracle um, like tools. But again, those are different examples of those. You will see that in your daily life. If you're working in IT, then things are different, really easy to switch your careers actually, because this is one example actually. Actually, I remember I showed you my background. I shared with you, right? I came from QA background earlier, but when I was when I was as a tester in IT world, working with different companies, I saw in front of my eyes those transformation happening. Transformation are means like adaptation. Or there was one company when I landed my QA job, they already had Scrum already. They were running their development like a framework as a Scrum. So, and I was providing my status every day, what I did yesterday, what have done, what is my plan for today, are there any impediments, right? And I was working and moving the stories and tasks from to do to in progress and then done later. That's where it was kind of that was my eye opening. That was kind of one of eye opening experience for myself. That where I see the value. Oh my God, look at this! Like that's where I wanted to. In fact, actually, when I was doing my education, project management was one of my favorite topic as well subjects. I did some research, and my instructor even encouraged me to do some more research on that. Different variations like scope management, time management, all those things. Anyway, so I had some kind of germs of project management in my nature, like passion about it. And when I see this value, and I did some research, and all the companies were crazy about it back in 2015 and even they start even early, right? So I said, okay, why not go for it? And then I get my certification, CSM, and I tweaked my resume. This is the key part where you have to, even in fact, when we go for Agile coach certification, they also recommend that you need to be a good storyteller. Okay, so if you cannot explain in simple words, you don't know. This is one of the quotation from I got, I heard from Bill Gates, that you have to explain it in simple words. That's where it reflects that those uh, things in deeper dive. If you cannot explain in simple words, you don't know the whole thing. So same applies over here. Uh, in resume, I reflected that my Scrum Master was I acted as a interim Scrum Master, and it was reality as well. We are human beings. We get sick. We get emergencies are part of our life, right? So when Scrum Master was not there, I stepped up, and I volunteered to be as a Scrum Master for a week, or for the duration of that where Scrum Master was off, right? So I tweaked it, and I changed my title as like QA was like slash Scrum Master. Yeah, and then they asked me, hey, how you did those two both jobs together? Those are not conflicting, and that's where I this gave me opportunity to prove myself that why I'm using those two different titles together, which are conflicting, right? And I told them that my primary role was QA, a tester, but I was also acting as an interim Scrum Master as well, where the team needed. So that also gave them kind of indication to the interviewers that I have the ability to grow my career. I have passion, and I always don't I'm not shy to step up to help the team. And that's actually that gave me put me in the better spot than other candidates. And I got an opportunity then. Then they gave me actually, and then approved. So that's where you can transform and tweak it, your resume, and tell the story how your current role will align with your Scrum Master, or always go about big why, because what you want to do, what is already defined. Remember, 4 Ws, but they always look for the reasons or initial motivation. Are you going to improve just to move on from like your current role to the Scrum Master for the money? Because Scrum Master might have good pay than testers. No, don't bring that up. Those things, of course, those are reality, but that really looks weird and cheaper to only talk about salary or earnings or dollars. Uh, and tell them that it motivates you. You see that this is where I'm passionate about it, to serve the teams, to be a good servant leader. Other way is without non-IT background, right? That's a kind of more little bit challenging. You may face more struggle, more time than the first scenario that I presented right earlier. But things are not like impossible, as I said that nothing is impossible. What you can do is in your resume, reflect your title, your role as a kind of IT related, if it's not there, and then same story, mention or at least add some couple of bullet points where you help the teams, no matter if it was Scrum Master or it was Project Manager title or whatever. If they were not using Scrum, put the Project Manager, because remember, as I said, the Scrum Master and Project Managers are the peers. Your certification will reflect that you are coming with proper knowledge. All you need is opportunity to implement those knowledge areas, and that's where tweak up your resume in a way, not too long. In fact, actually, I should have shared with one of the resume with you guys. Have you guys heard about CEO of the UI, Yahoo? Marissa Myers, I believe that's what it was. Okay, Marissa Myers resume. Sorry about that. Okay, it's on Google. A one-page resume, simple, and this is one of the best example actually people give them. to how you can tweak your resume. Uh, Look at her resume. She is the CEO. She was actually. I don't know if she is still there with Yahoo or not. I mean, excuse me. One page resume, simple. I mean, I saw in front of my eyes like 9 page resume from one of my friends. I asked him to, you know, to pass me, share his resume with me. And when he shared, I was like, kind of, oh my, I said, what the heck? Like 9 page resume that goes directly into the trash. Uh, Unless if you have some connections or links in the company or whatever. But look at the Google it, even debates. There are some different HR people on LinkedIn talking about those resumes, format templates as well. They said that, I mean, more than 2 pages resume, I don't look at it. Mine was 2.5 pages. I shrinked it to 2 pages later, but try to keep it to 2 to 3 pages long. Three is the max limit. Most of the, it should not be 2.5 pages long or something. Look at this one. One of the examples, she is even talking about her personal life as well, like how much of the time she spends in a day, spending time with my children. A, because family is important, and she lists over here as I mentioned, like publicly resolving Yahoo investor issues. B, her priority. What are your priorities? Family is her top priority. She's giving a message. She has not put all those words or statement. Or whoever look at her resume, they can get idea what's important for her, right? Correct? Showing Yahoo implies their work has meaning. See, like value, they're valuing their employees. Building a business development strategy for Yahoo future after the Verizon acquisition. D. So all these reflecting her priorities of a day, where she spends most of the time. What's important for her, for her. Excuse me. And over here, look at the career experience. She did not added like 10 bullet points. What she did, just only one bullet. She just went because these are the things. That's where you market yourself during the interview when it comes. But let's get to that point. Your resume will get you to that interview level, right? Because you are not speaking in front of them right away. You just apply and you upload your resume, or you share your resume in email, whatever. But your resume is your first picture or story that you're trying to market yourself, how you are depicting yourself, painting the picture of imaginary of yourself. Okay. Other recommendation that I learned, always add your picture as well. In fact, I had my resume optimized as well from one of the expert. He did a really magic work on my resume as well. And they are actually it's their daily life, daily work. I hired him from Fever. Uh, some people call Fever, some people call Fiverr, whatever you call. I'm not, you know, sticking with the those kind of pronunciations, but there are freelancers out there that you can look at their reviews and all those things. You can hire them or ask the sample work, and even you guys will have opportunity to get that edited as well. Or if you are not happy with their work, so what they do is my package was optimizing resume, aligning with LinkedIn profile review as well. And then there were two versions of resume he shared. One with the one, remember, HR, one of the hiring manager, they reach out to you or they know you, right? They say, oh, can you send your resume? And you send them an email without proper ATS, which is called application tracking system, which is proper link from the website career path. You apply and you upload your resume and it scans your resume, right? And it pre-fills your all the information, correct? Your name, first name, last name, address, all those things. Why? Because it scans your resume and populate those fields, right? That's where you need simple resume without any proper graphics or any table or forms. This resume is not ideal for ATS. Trust me, because their system scans for sequential or linear order, and without reading the tables. This one has tabular format. She can share with her resume to the, like, hiring manager or whatever, HR or something, whoever is hiring, directly in email as an attachment. Rather, and she must have simple resume as well, in Word format, with only picture only, and simple, like, bullets and all those things, because you want to make sure ATS system, which is like automatically standard application system, you want this to read every single detail of your resume, right? Not populate wrong data. For example, one of the experience that happened to me is, it populated my experience wrong. The dates of one company was populated with another company bucket, like, where it was Liberty Mutual over here, and it was showing under the Zurich North America or something like that, or Blue Cross Blue Shield. And luckily I caught it, and I changed it manually. If I was in hurry, and if I would have submitted it, it was conflicting. Remember, like, what is in my attachment resume, then when they printed it out, versus it was in the system. They may be saying, "Oh, he's lying," because he filled the application different, and it's conflicting, and they're not so humble or something. They don't have time even to pay attention on. Oh, it could be human error or something, right? So keep an eye on those things, and keep two versions of your resume, please, if you want to keep the things, like, much smoother for you guys. This is one of the tips that most of folks don't know. That's where career coaches, they know those things, and I'm sure you guys were part of LinkedIn career growth session or not, with sister. What was her name?
Yes, I was
Uh,
there.
you are there. Okay, good. It was also offered from IC platform as well. Excuse me. But yeah, I heard really great feedback. Due to my personal commitments, I could not attend, because even that session started a little bit with the technical difficulties, like little late. But it has a YouTube link. I'll share with you guys. Um, that is also worthy to go, and even she might have even shared those tips with you guys even earlier. But she's great career coach as well. Uh, I cover resume. I covered this question in detail, right? I believe enough. So can I mark it as done? Because tweaking the resume, even it covered more than that, beyond how to tweak up your resume, how to, market yourself, right? And also, it's all about playing with the words or phrases, how you want to that. For example, one of the candidate, um, he copied job description as a bullet points. Must be able to do this. Must be able to do that, and he just removed must be, and he did this. So try to be specific, and let's get to the interview level, and then share all the details. Okay, but I will not recommend to copying the the job description verbiage. Please change it if you want to use it. Utilize in your own words, phrase it. Remember, I'm a big fan of just keeping it simple. Okay, all right. Uh, excuse me. Is there any internship available to have some experience as a Scrum Master? That's a $1 million question. Actually, I would say for this, you have to be look around for the opportunities. Internships are always out there, but I'm not sure those are related to Scrum Master. Could be, yes, there are. Blue Cross Blue Shield offers actually some Scrum Master 1 level positions to the newcomers or fresh graduates. They have internship, but I don't think so that they sponsors any internship in the Scrum Master capacity, because that's, remember, Scrum Masters is fall under project management, right? So most of the companies, organizations, they sponsor internship opportunities at development level, because they really want to bring them on the board later with the less salary, of course, because they're new, fresh graduates, right? Versus the experienced ones. Experience will ask more dollars, right? Anyway, this is another discussion. I'm not going to go into that route, but it could be. When I was there, we had some mentorship program for the fresh graduates, where we work on the folks, new graduates, and to make them as Scrum Master. They shadowed us. Shadowing means they used to sit with us with our ceremonies, sprint planning, like uh, grooming, review, retro, and they used to learn. And then I have them run the show, all the events as a Scrum Master. So yeah, look for those companies. There are some NGOs actually. I would say. Hold on a second. Bear with me. What was her name? There are two NGOs that I know actually, uh, and I highly recommend it. Actually, one of the I think it was what was that? Okay, I'll share with you guys those names. Actually, those are led by C-level organizations, leaders. They are running as a nonprofit basis. Um, I'll just give a, I was not prepared for that to bring it up for the class, so otherwise I would have bring it. But I will share in the email actually. Okay. It starts with step forward or some. Oh, hold on, another. I'm not getting. Let me give it one more try. There you go. Driving forward. Oh boy, lucky. This is the one I would highly recommend. And actually, this is being run by Blue Cross Blue Shield CEOs, CTOs. Those are part of it, and I'm gonna share with you guys this link as well. Try to follow it, or fill the application or join them, because I saw in front of my eyes their students transforming into full-time employees. So look at this profile. Like I know this Marvin. Uh, he's the CTO of the Blue Cross Blue Shield. Marvin. You know, and I'm following it actually. Marv Richardson. Excuse me. He is a board member leader, and the other one, Bhupalan, was Traxon partner. So driving forward is really great, and it's NGO. And look at his profile. He is what? I believe, yeah. He is our like AVP level of HCC. But anyway, coming to your point is like sharing with you guys the whole some tips where you guys can look around for opportunities as well. Okay, not I didn't mean to share his profile. Driving forward is another one. I heard another second one as well, but I will share if I get to know that. But at least it'll give you guys your idea. Okay, make sense. I know I have few minutes left, but this class may go a little longer. But I really want to cover everything. But I'm not gonna go into that one. This is kind of placeholder. Let's talk about your live examples that could help you into the interview, or how to keep the interview in your favor, how to paint a picture of yourself that where they keep, you know, taking interest in your profile and give you opportunity, right? So some of the questions that you guys already have in your mind, what could be, or you want me to kickstart and go from there?
You guys start, sir.
Okay, I would like to see one of the famous question, or not worry, what I should call, you may end up is especially, which is common actually. It does not relate it to Scrum, but it somehow they also want to hear from you as a Scrum Master as well. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, right? So do you guys have any ideal answer? I know I'm not say ideal, but any good answer for that question if you encounter this question? For example, you applied for a Scrum Master job, right? There's an interview panel. They're asking, what are your weaknesses or strengths? Can you share with us? All right. So as a Scrum Master, I would say, oh, sorry. There was someone
Well,
trying to say. Go ahead, Sana.
yeah. Yeah, I would say that in the beginning I could be very shy with the team, but as I will become familiar with them, I will be okay.
Okay, so you take it as a strength or weakness or both, a blend of both.
I think blend up.
There you go. Okay, all right. At least you tried. Good try. Anyone?
I would say the weakness will be hard to say no when team needs something, even though I have a lot of stuff on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Good.
strength will be I am the um, team player um, and always there for them when they need it.
Nice. I love the strengths actually. Um, that's where actually they're okay. Here's the thing. Thank you so much. I think it's Iqbal, right, brother? Uh, who came up with? I know Sana,
Yes.
but no, no. Okay. All right. So let's keep it short and sweet. Uh, in the interview panel, most of the time you will end up more than one person, right? Facing because one of them will be judging you or observing you from technical standpoint, if if he or she is invited. Uh, excuse me. One of them could be an HR person or people person that could be observing you from your behavior, how you will, are you ideal fit for the organization culture or not. There could be another person judging you from process standpoint or from your knowledge standpoint, not only technical, but overall as a person. Like something could be maybe Scrum related or Agile expert as well, because that's what they are brought up into the interview panel, right? So you have to keep an eye and make sure, be smart and attentive, and answer in a way that satisfies all three or more than three, whatever. So one, that's why you'll get a mix of questions, not only Scrum related. You may this one strengths and weaknesses is very common, right? Um, Even no matter if you apply for Scrum job or any other development job or project management or CEO level job, whatever, that question is quite common, right? So you have to uh, look for answer where which jobs you have applied for. That's where then you have to drill down to those strengths and weaknesses. First of all, no one shares their weaknesses. One thing I would highly recommend not to share anything on the weaknesses standpoint. The better answer when you address the weaknesses is give me the opportunity and I would like to hear from you about my weaknesses and I will improve. That's a short, sweet, nice answer. The strengths points is about okay, what are the ideal qualities of a Scrum Master? Being a servant leader, correct? Putting the team first, right? And helping them in
Openness and
terms of
respect.
open what? Sorry,
Openness with the team and respecting
openness with the
the
team.
team
Yes.
members.
There you go. Correct. Yeah, that's a good one. But the thing is result oriented. You have to keep keywords. Look for that where you can elaborate if they are looking for. Result oriented means you are go getter, no matter what it takes, right? Uh, that's where you resolving the impediments comes up, resolving the blockers as well, because you are go-getter person. You are not shy to reach out to CEO to help me. Hey, red flag, whatever, like help me. My team needs help. Who is the right person to go and help me and my team? Go-getter, result-oriented. So you bring the results on the table, no matter what it takes. I don't care about teamwork or whoever works on the. I don't care about even my working hours. I don't care about I have to work in the evenings or weekends or whoever wants to partner with me. I want to really bring the results on the table, right? Result-oriented, servant leader, process-oriented. Because remember, you are main in the process tool people. You fit into the process, right? Agile is a process. It gives you guideline. Process oriented as you have to make sure people follow the process and respect it, right? And you mentioned the agile values, like openness, and all those are, yeah, of course, they can take it. But I just really wanted to give you kind of big keywords in terms of where they fit more umbrella, right? Even if you say process, the whole agile comes up under that, and their openness or respect, transparency, all those things come under that umbrella, right? So try to come up with those kind of keywords. If they want to hear more, of course you can elaborate because you know that what you're talking about, correct? The weaknesses already mentioned, right? Because I learned it actually. That should we answer this or not? So the nice answer is give me the opportunity. Give me the opportunity. I would like to know more my weaknesses, and I will improve it. Simple. Okay. Because if you start putting your weaknesses, just like you guys mentioned about, like getting to know how can I help the team or shyness or something, those are big no. Because first of all, Scrum Master should not shy. First, second of all, Scrum Master should not be confused to help the team. They should be clear. If they are not clear, ask for that. Okay, I know you are having this block or impediment, right? Or a challenge. Any idea who can I reach out to help you? Because you don't know, right? But you are asking for help. That way, that's where people will help you. Okay, for this, since this is architecture related, so system architect will be the best person. And you know that system architect look for who is that? Okay, Mr. Iqbal is there. Okay, reach out to him. Start for them, right? At least. Then Mr. Iqbal might be looking at, okay, it's not my cup of tea. It could be a DBA. Okay, then ping the DBA. Keep keep the ball rolling rather waiting and formal invite or meetings or something. I trust me, today when I called my product manager during one of the team meeting. She was not invited actually, and she's supposed to be there. But whoever was organizer of the team of that meeting, he forgot. But I literally called team meeting. Team have the option, right, to call someone. And then I pinged her. Can you join? Because I know you were missed. That person, whoever was organizing the meeting, they forgot to add you. She joined. Don't be shy. Wherever you see, go get the things done. That's where pure Scrum Master passion comes up. Okay. All right. That was the one question. So far, we have one knocked down. The other one is about could be. Let me take a look at my checklist. One of the things this is actually why I have listed it down because there could be so many questions, right? That could be possible depending on your resume, how you have put up together, right? One question is one of the things that I always even in my previous class, I always share at least one example of each ceremony, so they can like maybe you face that kind of scenario, right? Situation. For example, they said, what are the input of the sprint planning? Does anyone know? I already covered in my slides even.
Are you talking about any particular meeting or any meeting?
Sprint planning. Sprint. So you are starting your sprint planning. Where you get start? Where you start? What is the input? Output is your sprint backlog, right? Like sprint
The
commitments.
the
Backlog.
product backlog,
Product backlog. There you go. Correct. Yep. Perfect. So
and then
that's where
past
you
performance of the team.
uh yes, that's a good one. Related to velocity, or you can say yes. Predictable. Whether are you overcommitting or less. And another input could be your capacity, correct? Like capacity
Yeah,
planning.
and the improvement in the product planning or the any if there's any latest product.
That I would not count as an input. It could be one specific scenario, and make sure you elaborate it. That you can say, I can answer it in a couple of variations, but I will pick one example and then go from there. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. And also sometimes if you are unable to understand their question, it doesn't hurt to ask them to repeat, or can you elaborate a little bit more so I can answer it more detailed way? Then it will give you kind of, more time a little bit to process your information and answer it correctly. Rather, without understanding the question, you just start answering in a hurry. Okay, this is kind of another tip from coaching perspective. But yes, sprint planning input is your main input is your product backlog, and then another one you just mentioned is your previous work, previous velocity, that how team have been performing or delivering average. And then also, of course, capacity input as well, like what is your team members plan? Are there any more time off or holidays or Christmas time or something, right? Holiday season. Those are all factors. Okay, good question. Good. I'm happy to hear some answers. The other one is about when you say I also recommend you guys to look for this in Scrum guide. Is also mentioned definition of done and definition of ready. Educate yourself with those two terms. Very, very important, actually. And it's also already out there here. Commitments are definition of done. Why? Because it also plays vital role in terms of commitments. For example, when you say definition of ready, although it's not mentioned over here, I think it should be somewhere, but they already captured actually. Uh, Definition of ready and definition of done. Definition of ready, as its name says, when you take a look and open up a story, right? Before committing or working, like bringing a story into your backlog, into your sprint, right? What if that story is not ready to be picked up? Although it has acceptance criteria, right? But what if that story has some pre-work to do, or have some outstanding question already that you may encounter? Are you already waiting for from the business? Then it's not in a position to be picked up, right? Otherwise, it may be sitting all 2 weeks without any traction, right? So that's where the checklist, it's definition of ready and definition of done, are the checklist or the criteria where you feel comfortable in committing to a story, especially definition of ready. Always look at it when you before committing or before bringing story into a sprint. That means sprint planning. So whenever as a Scrum Master, they always your Scrum Master will always call you actually to hey, look at this story. Okay, so 2 point working Shahid is working on it. Shahid, do you have any questions or do you feel comfortable that we can commit this story? And I will be saying, oh yeah, I mean we can pick it up, but I'm waiting for a couple of questions from the business. So then, okay, are those questions gonna be addressed within a day or some or not? If not, then I'm not gonna be, as a Scrum Master, I will not allow that individual to commit to that story because we need to set up some timeline as well. Yes, if it's those questions, if your business say, oh yeah, we'll get back and in 1 or 2 days you will have it, then definitely that's acceptable, of course, right? But if what if they say, oh, we are not sure when we're gonna get back to you, of then it's a big no from Scrum Master side. Then because it does not qualify as definition of ready checklist. That means there are some outstanding stuff out there, right? Definition of ready means like there is a checklist out there, like all the requirements are out there, acceptance criteria is captured, no dependencies, everything's clear, story is good to go, good to work on it, right? Nothing outstanding. That's simple. It's got those kind of bullet points, couple of the one that you just put it out to there. And I'll share with you guys slides as well for definition of ready and definition of done. So, and Scrum Guide are also captured this one as well. Earlier, they were not part of it, but now they have done it actually. So definition of done, when your story is done, when you call your finisher that, okay, we are done with this story. Otherwise, it will never ending process, right? How you can set the deadline that like cross like a hard stop or there. Okay, we are done with story. There are criteria because it is developed, it is unit tested, it is tested by QA, right? Because unit testing is done by what? Developers. They do unit testing at a smaller level, right? But then they hand it over to the QA testers to test the story in thoroughly, right? So it should be developed. The story should be developed. The story should be unit testing, because most of the time in retro, actually, it was my one of retro topic, hard retro topic, where my team was not doing unit testing actually, and we were seeing so many bugs um, at the testing level. So and then we improved it and we made them, we we required them to do a unit testing attached results with that story. So those are kind of small explanation of definition of ready and definition of done. You may also get those questions as well. In fact, also bring them those questions or terms. Those terms, use them during your interview questions, if possible. They will be happy to hear that. Then this, wow, this person knows that definition of done as well, definition of ready, because most of Scrum Masters, they are not clear about those terms. Trust me, I'm telling you. Sprint review, as I mentioned, definition of done, right? What if you guys encounter a situation where I think I mentioned in the one of the class as well, uh, where the team is saying that we are done with the story, right? And they're trying to demo to the product owner, but the product owner is not comfortable in signing off the story, in approving the story, right? How you will deal that kind of situation?
You
So
refer to the definition of done, right?
yeah, that is one of the factors. Yes, definitely. That's good. Thank you for bringing it up. Yes, I will pull up definition of done checklist and I'll tell them that, look, we went through this story, went through the refinement session where you were part of refinement session, right? We sized it. Team worked very hard, 2 weeks on this. And what is something that is like, what is the confusion? What is the reason? Try to understand why they are pushing it back to approve it, right? Then one of the scenario that I faced is she was expecting more in that story without looking the story acceptance criteria. She says, "Oh, I thought that you will also build this feature as well, like functionality as part of this story." I said, "Look at the acceptance criteria as documented. It's not there. If it's not there, that means team will not work on it. There could be two situations. There could be another existing story in the backlog. Pull it up, show it to her or him, whoever is for your product owner. That okay, look, we already have placeholder story in our backlogs that will definitely pull up, or you can prioritize it, right? So we can work on it. But that feature is not part of this story, please. I mean, look at the acceptance criteria, pull the story and be transparent, right? And be respectful as well. Don't be like rude or something. Your accent and also the way of communication should be really in a way that they can understand and that build up the trust rather like uncomfortable situation. So tell them that, okay, team worked on this story and look at the acceptance criteria, please. Can you review it? Take your time. And it's not there. In fact, this functionality that you're asking, we do have a placeholder story already in the backlog. And here's the story number if are smart enough to grab it real quick. The other situation is use this feature, search feature. Look for those keywords, the one that she is asking or he is asking as a product owner and then that may like pull up that for example door or something, right? And see this one right here, I put door and the doors right here. So like and show it to her or him that okay, there's already out there placeholder story to cover to deliver this functionality, but up to this story, the current story that's being demoed to them, it's not doesn't have it, because we try to break it down to the smallest piece possible, right? And then things will be clear in your favor, and then she'll move on. Or there could be another such scenario where even there is no story in the backlog, right? What you can do is, this is what I handled actually. So we said, what I mean, we worked on it. Here's the acceptance criteria. I know you were expecting more, but it's not documented or captured. So team worked on it, delivered what was agreed upon. What we can do is we can create another small story as an enhancement of on the top of this story, linked with this story, so you don't lose the track, right? Are linked together. Those two stories are tied together to deliver one functionality, right? So you guys can always link them. You know that actually? Oh yeah, I mean, of course, you guys can link the work as well. Let me open up a story and then show you guys. So tell her or him, do the negotiations actually. See link issues right here. So I mean, you can link the issues. It will issues is blocked by or is it related to or duplicate relates to, and you can create another story or link it to the next one. You guys can always link them together. So those two stories are together delivering one functionality, or it could be more than one. So so these linked issues, you can use it. So as we can create a new story, right? Coming to the point, and link them together and then deliver it. This way, you guys can bring up to their agreement at least somehow, right? And without any challenging situation. So I covered both scenarios in detail. Sprint retros, my favorite, right here. So this is idea board. Actually, I used it for the retros. My kids are laughing at me. So if you log in this idea board through your Gmail, it retains your history. I think it has limit of some of the boards. I don't know how much limit it has, but it has some limit associated with that. So my one limit was over. I was using the other email. Actually, all you have to do just pick up your Gmail. It does not even ask you your password or something. And well, you can export as well. Once your retros are done with these ideal boards, um, let me show you actually one of the example I picked up actually. Yeah, Renegades. Renegades was my team's name. Actually, each Scrum team has their noun has their name. It could be sports team like what you call Bears, Chicago Bears, all those things, or it could be any what you call fictional characters like Transformers or Avengers or all those things. But yes, definitely your team should have a name because it's a baby. A baby should have a name. So um, here's one of the template that I was actually trying to show you. What went well, what didn't go well, action items, and my also agile coach recommended to have one discussion, especially in the beginning, how team estimated actually to reflect, to improve. Although this piece is not recommended and or is not part of self regular retro topic, but he recommended because our team was fairly new. And look at this. The feedback time allocated for the demo approach should be increased. Easily takes an hour to do only one story. So they awarded as well. Why? Because team is new. They want to also bring estimation topic as well as part of your retro. But let me show you how team did in the beginning. Look at this sprint 3. So many sticky, so many things out there, right? But look at those when they gradually, make some progress. Things were much smoother and started like estimated look is empty now, because now they got somehow matured, right? So, I mean, although this is something kind of my work related thing, but nothing is out of compliance or anything. Those are just only thoughts. You can merge the stickies together as well, just like those are merged. They can vote on it, and you can have action items. But coming to the point as an example, why this I brought this topic as a retro. One of the question or challenge could be, what are the challenges that you faced, right? Our biggest challenge that you faced your career during your Scrum Master role, right? So this is where you can pick some of the live examples. One in the retro, the major challenge is to have them vent out the team members to share what they're feeling in reality, empower them. What we do is in retro is I set the stage that okay, there's no blame game, no pointing fingers on each other or anyone. This is event to improve, to grow, and if there is no action items or what didn't go well, that means we something is wrong. We are doing something wrong, or we are hiding something, right? So I empower them to bring up what didn't go well, and then from there I pull up as an action item, or I keep the sticky. Actually, this is what I'm doing right now. These days, I'm not pulling it. Actually, my agile coach told me to bring one of them and then make it as an action item. But this way, this for gets area gets empty actually and bring as an action item. I create another sticky and put it as an action item own, and I also find the owner as well, who is going to work on that action item. This is please pay attention on this. If your retros are only documentation purposes, you are not getting the benefit of retro 100%. Why? Because you're just putting the action item on the paper, right? What if you identify the owners and track them regular basis? For example, this is sprint 13, right? What you can do is sprint to 12, pull it up. Tell them, ask them like, oh, we have sprint 12. Let's take a look how we did it. Let's hear from the let's hear from the Scrum from the owners of those action items, that how we are doing. They both like Mariah and Jamie, they picked it up. And I can ask them, hey, Maria, Jamie, I know this is sprint 13, but let's take a look on sprint 12 red action items and track them as well. The other best approach is to create a task in the backlog. I know this is kind of could be a little too early for you guys to consume, but over here in the backlog, I can create a task with 0 point. Task does not have to be story pointer, right? I mean, it's up to how you guys want to do. Over here, some companies or organizations they recommend, and some they don't, because task does not have a value. Bugs and stories definitely. But in my over here current company with Federal, they also encourage you guys to size the tasks as well for the better capacity planning standpoint actually, because whoever is working on a task, how they can reflect story points or capacity, right? Calculate this capacity correctly. But again, this is a different topic. But you guys can go ahead and create a task and assign the owner to, like, improve the testing efforts, something like that. And it does not have to be in a sprint actually. The task can be sitting in the backlog. You don't have to commit to it because it's zero size, right? But at least it brings the visibility, right? It's there, it's a placeholder is there to populate to start the conversation, right? And track it. So those are the tips or recommendations that even normal Scrum Masters they tend to forget it or they don't focus it. They just do retro as a formal event and go from there, and then just do formal like a gathering and they capture the action item without any tracking. So trust me, action items are really important. Find the action owners. Who is going to own it? You don't have to own every action item. Yes, as a Scrum Master, I can help wherever, whichever is applicable action item for me. And that's where those are in the beginning of those actually our Scrum team. But rephrase them. And team should need help with this or something like that, or Shahid to work with the product owner to improve something like that. They used to call me Shah. Remember, like you might have played that role playing video. So Shah needs to work on it and ensure people speak clearly during the meeting, because that was one of the feedback. They said that it's hard to hear on the phone. I said, okay, if your phone is not working, let me know. I need to know that, because this is something retro. This is about retro, helping the team to improve, right? So this is what you empower your team to speak up and share their thoughts wherever it's applicable. One of the great tips that also see that example, if they ask you, is my team members were shy in the beginning. So what I did is, without naming or calling out their names, I asked them, okay, few of the team members have faced this challenge where they were waiting for the requirements clarification from the business, but I did not see any sticky over there. What didn't go well? So can you please, I know, Sana, you were saying something like, in the one of the Scrum call, that you are facing this challenge, but can you go ahead and put a sticky out there and share your thoughts? Again, icebreaker, right? So start the conversation, and then, oh yeah, I forgot it. So then they will go ahead and start putting the stickies or sharing their thoughts. So sometimes you have to be you have to be an icebreaker or start the conversation, right? In order to encourage them, and you'll see improvement later on. The other thing is about retro. There's a big debate if the leadership or the product owners should be invited or not. Trust me, it's a really. I know we are over, but this is. I have one more ceremony to share with you later on. Then we'll go. I will let you go because otherwise this discussion will never ending, right? But I'm trying my best to give you kind of full package. Again, yes, there's a big. Trust me, you may face this question during your interview. And in retros, should your product owners be invited or not? How it will impact? So there's two variations to this answer. If okay, first of all, why how this question came up actually, right? What if the product owners are invited to the retro and team is start talking about their weaknesses? For example, oh, it took me 2 days to hear from product owner, and then product owner is there sitting on the table in front of them. So will they share this feedback while they're present in the meeting? I mean, from human, psychological perspective, that's why psychological safety is very important. And it's a big topic, psychological safety. Google for it. How Scrum Master plays a role. Educate yourself about psychological safety. Actually, Google it in Agile. Anyway, coming to your point, to the question. So, what if the product owner is sitting on the table with them, right, in a room, and they start talking about raising their concern about their product owner, right? Simply, they will feel uncomfortable, or people will hold up to themselves. They will not share team members because it's there. How they can, say something in front of their attendants, right? So there are two ways to handle it, as I mentioned in the beginning. One, set the expectations with product owner. Be if they are agile mindset, actually they are really agile trained and agile mind, and you will know that if you start working with them, right? If they are agile or not, if they want to keep the control within themselves, or they're directing the teams or not, or they are flexible enough to work with the team members, right? So you will get that chemistry going. So if your product owner is well educated and flexible enough to work, then you can set the expectation with them and invite them that, okay, my our retro could be a little bit uncomfortable for you, but I'm setting the expectation with you because I'm really want to hear everything, every single nitty-bitty details from the team members, what went, what didn't go well, so we can improve it. So if you see some of the concerns or feedback about the product yourself, please be flexible and be humble, show some empathy with them, and then start try to help them and improve. If you set the stage and set the expectations with them, definitely things will be much better. Or don't invite them in the beginning and a few sprints. Just to tell them that, okay, I really want my team to speak up and share every single details. And then I will share the outcomes, like action items, actually. That's what I do, actually. So in the beginning of the sprints, I was not inviting them, especially business owner, actually. My PM was there, IT PM, but anyway, that's different topic. But I was giving you two scenarios, right? One I already covered, set the expectations with them, then invite them, or in the beginning few sprints, don't invite them and just clearly tell them that, okay, I really want my team to speak up what didn't go well, what needs to be improved, and if there is something related to you, I'll share with you, or I'll take the export of this PDF or Excel. Look at this option right here, right? And you can export this or the whole board into PDF, and I used to upload it on the SharePoint, actually, so they can take a look at any point of time. So I used to share the results or outcome of my retro with them, not bringing them in the room. Okay, so that's how you be a good facilitator. That you see the scenarios, you see the situation, and you act accordingly. Uh, you know, uh, and I covered both scenarios. Any questions? Okay. All right. Daily Scrum. I think I already covered this daily Scrum, but I really wanted to spend a few more minutes on this. Remember one of the example of um, daily Scrum call could be challenging if one of the team member keep talking, keep talking, keep talking, and he or she hijacks the whole thing, whole time, right? For for that, you might have heard about. Uh, have you heard about wait? What am I talking about? Let me see if I'm pulling. Here we go. I pulled this actually. I showed it to them, and they appreciated. Even my fellow Scrum Master loved it. Right here. What am I talking? So even this is not only Scrum call, daily Scrum, but it applies on any of the meetings. In order to keep your meetings more productive, show them this flow. That okay, hey, I respect your opinion, and I see everyone is remote and working on on the phone on their own settings, remote settings, working from home, whatever. And in that situations, people may tend to step on each other, right, over the phone, or like there could be multiple talks or calls, right? So show them this flow, and then you will see so much difference. So and it's 200 million quotes is that, and it's a it's this a picture is very common actually. Why am I talking? Ask request. Ask this question every time whenever you want to say something during the meeting, right? Is there any reason like I have something important to share? Is there any important? Ask yourself. Yes, answer is yes. Okay. Is this the time to share? For example, some people actually speak in order to share to show their existence that oh I'm part of the meeting, right? They may be quick or laugh or joke or any random talks. So is this time to share or not? Okay, if it's no, then what's the answer? Like then go back. Why? Ask again yourself. Why am I talking? Correct? So is it a fact or an opinion? Yes. In order to keep your meetings more productive, talk about facts, not the opinion. Opinion, if it's opinion recommendation or something, say no, because if it's 1 hour call, right? And you keep talking about the things randomly, opinion, like half an hour is gone. You have only literally 30 minutes left to wrap up your meeting, right? So it's a fact. Yes. Okay. Is it part of my job? Yes. It's none of your business, then stay quiet. Don't say that. So if all those answers are yes, then please be concise and don't try to impress. Don't be smart. So this is one of the actually flow chart that I shared with my fellow Scrum Masters as well and my leaders, and they appreciate it actually. They were not aware of it before. And I learned it one of the training actually that I went through. So anyway, Scrum call, yes. Last but not least, uh, so again, divided into two phases. Remember, part one, part two, or phase one, phase two, whatever you call. 15 minutes has the only status call, regular pattern. Um, what each team member did yesterday, right? What they have planned for today, and are there any impediments or blockers, right? Once everyone is done, trust me, you will be done with doing before within even in less than 15 minutes early. I have example of one of the agile coach told me he had like 30 folks and he was done in 10 minutes with all those 30 because okay, all my stories are in progress, no blockers, simple. I'm working on my tickets. That's it. Here's my status. How long it took me? Like 10 seconds, correct? You don't have to talk about. I have some team members. Trust me. This morning even, team members they're talking. Oh, I work on WC12 and it's progress and it's block. WC1. Oh yes, in progress. WC2. I said, don't. You don't have to address or talk for each ticket that you have in your plate. Talk about impediments. Okay, what is your plan? All right, I'm working on this ticket. Is in progress, but no impediments, and I'm on track with my commitments. Simple. All right. So 15 minutes, right? Once everyone is done, then we are open. And it could be you may end up early. You don't have to go for a whole 30 minutes because recommendation is 15 minutes, right? But the other 15 minutes you invite to give opportunity to others to collaborate with the team or even talk about any impediments or blockers. One of the situations, do you really need for your second part, like when it comes to collaboration, everyone, whoever is on the call or not? That's kind of that could be a tricky question for you. Remember phase two, right? Where you talk about any you open up the forum, right, for others, right, for any announcements or to address any blockers, right, or impediments, where team members can share. Here is my like screen and coding, and I'm stuck over here. Is there anyone can help me or something like that, right? They can share the screen. They can share ideas, concepts, and all those things. My question is, do you really need the whole team for the second phase or not? The answer is no.
No.
Uh,
No.
no, yeah, because you have to respect everyone's time, right? So what I do is whatever. If you are done within 15 minutes, then if you have any parking lots, I call parking lot topics actually, or 16-minute topics. There are three different names, like parking lot topics, or 16-minute topic, or collaboration time topics, right? Whichever you call it, so concept is same, right? The ideology. So one of some of the topics could be impediments resolvement, right? Discussion, resolving the impediments or blockers, right? For example, team member is blocked, and you really want to help him, but this discussion take longer, right? So help her to resolve. You're trying to help, but at the same time, you have to keep the flow of your Scrum call going as well, right? So that's where the parking lot concept or 16-minute topic concepts comes up handy. Okay, we are going to park this topic, and we will come back on our 16-minute topic, or we will come back or talk again on our collaboration time, whichever you set the title of that time or part two, right? So once everyone is done in 15 minutes, tell them that okay, hey, we have on my checklist, on my list, on my 16-minute parking lot topics. There's one for the collaborate. There could be multiple, right? So ask them like, which one we should go, which topic can go first or higher priority, right? So it could be one blocker. Okay, do we need everyone? Or do we have anything else other than this topic? Okay, there's one announcement that product owner wants to make. So ask them to go first to make announcement because they want to share some updates with the team, right? For that, you need whole team, right? So, let the team stay on the call. So now once everyone is done with the announcement, all those things, and then they will want to spend some time, which is kind of 10 minutes left or 5 minutes, and then you can jump on this topic. Okay, for this topic, who do we need to stay on the call? Okay, we need one developer, whoever is having issue, right? One business analyst to look at the requirements, and then product owner maybe. Okay, rest of the folks, feel free to drop the call, unless if you want to, hear the conversation or for your listening purposes. But I would really want to respect your time. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and then let them drop the call. And then whoever wants to stay on the call, let them stay. But you did your part, right? If someone else is staying on the call, let them stay because you already made your announcement, right? You did your part, and if they have a free time, let them stay on the call. But those are those are called facilitation skills, and that's where you learn gradually. It's not something you learn everything over time. So that's why it's called agile is a journey. It's not a destination. With that, I'll wrap up my class. I know we are way more, but I hope you guys loved the discussion, the live examples. I try my best to share everything what we need, but I also at the same time I wish you guys good and best of luck as well. And feel free to reach out to me for any one-on-one assistance or LinkedIn or any coaching, any interview preparation, resume reviews, anything. I'm open. And I already have shared my information, right? You guys have my cell phone. You guys can be connected on my LinkedIn profile. I know a few of them. You guys already have it. But thank you very much. But for that,